Okay, perf. I didn't want us to end there. I want to end this by sharing with y'all. Are we good? I want to end this to say, oh yeah. So yeah, people out in the world still suck, but and then, what really is hard though is me figuring out how to continue moving forward and not ever have to go back to the life I left behind and what I put to rest. So I've been making those moves and trying to understand how I can continue to grow artistically, creatively, and stay here in Austin and continue to heal and grow and explore my new sexuality as a gay woman. I really don't like labels on stuff, but it's, I mean, it's like I don't like when I, like, when but that's how I've been continue to heal my depression and anxiety though, is people think they're depression and anxious, but when you go from your spirit and do what you want to do instead of doing what's expected or out of guilt or pressured or told, like, that takes away that anxiety and depression. When you express yourself, when you speak your truth, when you live your truth, you don't feel that anxiety and depression. Nature, healing, faith, all like healthy coping mechanisms, like those are what heal you. That is what keeps you stable. That is what keeps you consistent, resilient. Those are the things that keep you going. Yeah. Especially when you're overwhelmed. Turn off the phone and hug a tree. Grounding. Yeah. And just because people have, that's the thing too, just because people have a title or a degree or money does not mean they know what's best for you. They can tell you what to do, they can tell you what they know, but that doesn't mean their spirit and their understanding of you as a human being will help you and what's best for your life. So always use discernment and take what you feel it in your heart. You feel truth. You feel truth in your body. You feel truth in your body and in your heart. And sometimes I get stuck with that too still, right? Because I love people and I like to connect with people. But still, even in all this, using discernment about who I let into, like, I've spent so much of my life over giving and endlessly giving that I'm still using discernment to trust who I want to be friends with, who I want to mutually connect with, like who I want to give my time and attention to. Like, just because you're in a bad situation, it's just like before, it's just new layers. Just because you're in a bad situation doesn't mean you'll be friends with anybody or date anybody or let anybody near you or your vicinity or touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the boundaries. It's the continual boundaries and self-respect and self-love. Like, I didn't go through all this understanding and pain and journey to just let whatever happen. Like, I'm going to continue to be very picky. Picky is the word people like to use, right? When you have boundaries and standards for yourself. I'm going to continue to do that because of all that I have endured and recovered from and left and let go. Period, queen. Thank you. Remember that. Yeah. Yeah, every time after I say something that I'm like, "Oh shit." Like, or that I do my affirmations in the mirror, I love being like, "Remember that." I don't want to give away too much of my personal, yeah. Some things you can keep to yourself, right? It's I'm still trying to figure out that line too, right? Because I love to talk and share and communicate. Okay, we're social creatures. But keeping some things you can keep to yourself for your personal, not in a sneaky or secret way, but in a way that's like, you deserve that for you. Right? People, that's an important thing too, that goes with everything I've learned, is that people feel entitled to your time. They feel entitled to your energy. They feel entitled to your body. They feel entitled to tell you what to do. They feel entitled to tell you who to be. They feel entitled to tell you what's right. Okay? But I forgot where I was going with that. They feel, but all of that though. But yeah, they feel, I forgot. Y'all were following though. Y'all were following. But yeah, they feel entitled to, but they're not. You don't owe anybody anything. Yeah, they feel entitled to your time, your energy, your love. You don't need to, you don't owe anybody anything. That doesn't mean do no harm. What is that saying? Do no harm, but take no shit. That doesn't mean go be vindictive and hateful out in the world. No. But that doesn't mean you need to be be bubbly and happy and endlessly pleasing to every person, right? And that's another thing. That's a whole other layer to the context, right? Is with service industry jobs. And that's what sells people's souls and energies, because, and it's set up in that's a whole other thing with the socioeconomic structure. They make people literally abandon themselves to endlessly cater to and behave a certain way for a check, and dependent on that to live and survive. And that was it, you know. But those are like, I'm like, there's a whole, I'm telling, it's all been a part of the awakening and realizing how things work in the world and what it is and what it will never be, and choosing what you can in your one life, right? That doesn't mean go drink every shot and smoke everything and try every drug and be with every person. That means choosing what feels, what life-giving to you, life-giving, what is sustainable for your body, what helps you expand and light up and grow, what your passions are, what you feel, what feels good for you, not just in that moment and, you know, then drains you and runs you dry, but that continual lasting warmth and love. I'm like, and with that, I'm like, I actually, now here is how we're gonna end this, is I'm gonna read to y'all these last two. Poems, songs, writings, entries, whatever you want to call them. Whatever I want to call them. To end my tale. To end my journey. Because as I'm staying here in Austin, I've been telling y'all on stream, I've been debating whether to go to, I got into the community college here and the creative arts media program, and I was going to do songwriting and explore that. They have a lot of great opportunities there. And then also, you know, the performing communities, the drag communities here in Austin, and also, you know, the mindfulness dancing communities, like all the things that I've been doing on stream, I can do them and learn and do them in real time and continue to explore who I am. Like, this is just a whole new chapter to my life, you know, and there's so much I'm still unpacking and changing and trying to figure out how I can financially and survive and be without losing my creative free reign and sacred calling and faith, you know? So it's like, do I explore that route and build and this is just me sharing where I'm currently at, not that I need, you know, but from all of that where I was, do I continue to do that, try to get housing, schooling, all these things and explore here, or do I try to, I need to get a guitar. That is my goal, to get a guitar, obviously used, a cheap used. Keep hoping to find one in a dumpster. I don't know. Nobody's gonna throw a guitar, but I keep seeing like nice bicycles left around the town, so it's like maybe a guitar. That's the goal, to get a guitar. And do I try to be like, you know, make my way across the western United States to Vegas and to California? Be a showgirl in Vegas, get a studio, make, you know, and then be able to make music at studio in California. Like, so these are the decisions I'm riding with. After all that passed, this is where I'm at now. This is where Wonton is at now. And this is how I'm going to settle this last part before I celebrate 420 with the gays. With, yeah, the gays and the theys, bitch. What the fuck is it? I need to get one of those phone holders. Hello? Hello? Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. What the fuck? Hunty! Help! 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 Shit. Fuck. Help! Yay! Okay. Alright. Oh! Yes! Alright. This is where we leave the past, hunty. This is called Forever Ago. Actually, you know what? It's my life. I'm going to tell y'all this. Just a little personal detail. But it was called, the trail was called Emma. And the Bon Iver, this is so showing my age and exactly the timing of my life. But yeah. So I titled it Forever Ago because it was at the Emma Nature. And so, because the Bon Iver album for Emma, Forever Ago. So Forever Ago. Soul tie, trauma bond. Forced on me, never the one. Pushed to play a role. Forced to be your mother. Teacher, sex toy, best friend, ultimate lover. Warmth at your disposal. Your hidden away home. Make-believe dreams. Letting you be Caesar over Rome. Roaming around, never enough. Picking my flaws, refusing to acknowledge you were never man enough. Man, yeah, you the man. Always living to impress men, never letting me in. You wanted my time, my attention, body, care, and heart. But when it came to the real deal of being physically close, that was a lost art. Mona Lisa I am, simple smile, radiance to drawing crowds with my power. Patra, ready to rule, not needing to be tied to you, not needing a dramatic conclusion or vendetta. You needed the drama, the rush, the pool. It fed your mommy issues, daddy's distance, refusal to see yourself for the fool. You needed a secret because you had to hide what you preferred deep down inside. Inadequate, sad, small in size, you will reap what you sow, drowning in your lies. Realize being forced into a role doesn't excuse you reason. Not acknowledging you're gay doesn't count as a reason. It's the choices you make, the way you treat people, the lies you sell for 25 cents ice, terror you bring, terrorism like ice. Fuck ice and fuck you too. One day you'll bleed out, truths will come through. I cried enough for you. There's no more tissue. Issues canceled. Vogue. Unsubscribed. Lock. You take the bitterness, the fixations, obsessions, and lies. Trauma you caused, a lifetime you took. It's over now. I finished the book. Now this next one is called Evolve. Now this has been my longest one yet, and this one, this one I really do want to make into a song, and would put on, if I made like a studio album, I would put this one on there. Yeah. I'm like, let me not put pressure on it. Chill. Okay. I'm like, does she want to sing? I don't know. Yes, girl. Okay. I don't know. Hot. Okay. It's so much easier for me when I have an instrument because it just flows. Like it just flows through you and I don't have to think about it. And so that's the difference for me when I have like music going or an instrument in my hand, you know, versus a cappella. So I think I'll just read this to y'all for now. But look, bitch, when you get it, you get it. Little rap. Okay. Evolve! Yeah! Moon Queen! Evolve! Yeah! Okay?